Hey guys, Small Door here, and it's been a long time since I've done a thoughts video, but I absolutely need to be doing it for woo this game right here. Actually, I'll just do it on the side. Horizon Forbidden West. This is really the first major game that I played this year. Honestly, it's probably the first major game I played in almost 2 years. I didn't play too many games in 2021, if I'm being pretty honest. This game is phenomenal. In its own right, this game is easily a Game of the Year caliber type of a game. An absolute worthy successor of Zero Dawn. And Zero Dawn was incredible. Like, the main, okay, so I actually wrote down some things that I really want to talk about with this game, for the pros, the cons, and things like that. So first, I want to go ahead and go with the negatives, because there's not too many, and I want to get those out of the way. I actually think that climbing is worse in this game than in the first game. The first game was intuitive. It wasn't great, but it was fairly intuitive and it was smooth. This game, it has all the stuff from the first game, but then they try to make it a little more intricate by adding like double jumping, the grappling hook, being able to like jump backwards, and some weird stuff like that. And when I mean double jump, I mean being like you grapple to a point and then jump mid grapple to then jump higher. And there's a lot more freeform climbing, but not really. You still can only climb on designated areas, but there's just a lot more of them, and a lot of areas that you can climb, but it doesn't mean anything. I don't know. And it's a little janky. The grappling hook's a little janky for when you're grappling. I like the grapple hook for when you're like pulling things, opening vents, and all that kind of stuff. It's really, really cool. But when you're using it to like actually grapple and pull yourself to locations, it feels a little out of place. After playing games like Sekiro or Spider-Man or something like that, it just feels not quite what it should be. Another thing, not really necessarily a knock on the game itself, but I personally hate aiming with a controller. And Horizon it's all about aiming with a controller. There's so many times where I'm missing shots on targets that aren't even moving because I'm trying to just hit certain parts of the machines. And so I'm a little bit this way, so I slightly move and boom, I'm just way over this side. It's really, really bad. That's mostly on me, but release the next game straight on PC at launch and we'll be in a much better spot, so I can use a mouse and keyboard. But another thing that I have, for me, one of the big reasons why I love Zero Dawn is because the game was very concise. It was an open world RPG game, very story, third-person action, I guess, however you want to call it. And you weren't overwhelmed with so much content of like, oh, what should I do now? I don't know, what should I do? Should I do main story? Should I do the side stuff? Should I do this? There wasn't that much side stuff in the game, so you could just do all the side stuff, be done in like an hour or two, and then boom, main story. This game, there is so much side content. It's unreal. It's probably like 65-70% of the game is side content, and the rest in the main story is only like, 35-30% of the game. Some people that might be a positive. For me, I don't know. I felt overwhelmed. I beat the game at under 50% completion, so I don't know. There's so much stuff in this game. And it's just all on the map. I mean, granted, you can hide it and stuff. You can filter all the icons on the map, but I don't know. I was constantly feeling pressure to do other things, and if I wasn't doing those side things, I was feeling guilty. I don't know. Then I can nitpick things like Aloy's hair being a little crazy, and whatnot. And some of the characters, you definitely hated certain characters. Were a little weird, but anyways. I want to talk about the things that make this game incredible. First and foremost, we have to talk about the graphics. The graphics in this game are a cut above everything out there. And I have not seen a better looking game ever. Literally ever. The only games that can even come close, and probably actually still maybe look a little better in just raw textures, is like racing games. But a game like this, like, it's unheard of. The graphics, the animations, the mocaps, everything, and then that ties into the voice acting. The characters are so much better. And I mean, you're getting big names. Spoiler alert, I won't tell you what characters they are, but I mean, you got Angela Bassett playing a big character. You got Carrie-Anne Moss playing a really big character. They do an incredible job. And you have Lance Reddick coming back as Silence. Spoiler if you didn't play the first game. I feel like Aloy's done a much better job. The voice actress, Ashley Birch, I believe, is the actress. I better double check that, or else I gotta redo this video. I just heard. Okay. It's amazing, and pretty much all the throwaway characters are really, really good. Like, they're just incredible. It's insane how good this game is in terms of like production value of the raw graphics, the animation, all the motion capture, all the stuff they do with the facial animations, the hand gestures, all that. It's next level. Now, let's talk about something that this game just straight up improves upon from the first game. The mechanics and the game systems. Zero Dawn had very simplistic skill trees and game systems in terms of like how items worked with rarities and whatnot. You could like add in some things to make your weapons and armor a little bit better. That was about it. This game has full on, I believe, 6 skill trees. I want to say you have your melee, you have your traps, you have your ranged, you have your heals, you have your stealth, and then you have your override, your machines. Yeah, so 6. And then each one of those has full skill trees. You can learn basically ultimate moves using a system called Valor. And then you also have weapon stamina to have special moves you can kind of do continuously over time. And then you have your like an ultimate, your Valor moves, which give you like certain bonuses and abilities for a period of time, which is great. The items in the game, the way they do it with the rarities, they'd be able to upgrade your items. You can go to crafting stations and make your gear better, and they unlock more abilities and things like this. This is nuts. And it still maintains the rarities. You have your basic, you have your green, blue, purple, and then up to legendary. It's insane. Obviously, you can still upgrade your pouches. You have all of your your traps, your potions, and all of these things. There's just so much more going on in a really, really good way. I think it's very, very good. Another thing I want to talk about too is the melee in this game is superior to the first game in every way. It is now very viable, at least in certain situations that you may not have otherwise used. For me personally, I almost exclusively used melee anytime I was fighting humans or smaller machines. The only times I pretty much never did is if I was fighting large machines. And they add in things to make you want to melee. And then combo in melee with range. Like you can like do melee combos, get on top of them, and then launch off with like an R2 like swing attack, and then you're in the air and then you shoot. Oh man, it feels sick. But that's kind of about it, with that. I don't want to go too deep, like spoilers of like everything you can do, but let's talk music and sound design. I will say this. I actually do think a lot of like the machine sounds and the way that they came across, it's actually not quite as good as it was in the first game. Overall, some of the machines sound insane, or incredible, but overall the sound design is top-notch, stellar. And then there's the music. The music in this game is so well done. There's original scores, original songs. This game, it's the way that they use it is really, really good. The main theme is still the same from the first game. I think it's like redone. It's a little bit different, but it's more or less the same song. The main theme. Good. So the last thing I really want to talk about is, well, I guess last 2 things. So while I talked about as a negative or a con with too much content, I do got to bring up side quests. So this game has main quests, side quests, and then it has errands, jobs, contracts. Then you have all your other things like doing the relic finds, and which are like more the puzzles. I don't know. So side quests are big quest chains that are basically as long as a main story quest, but they're all optional. You have really, really good rewards. And that is another thing I forgot to mention with the questing. You get pretty much every quest will give you XP, skill points, and a lot of times you also get item rewards. Not always, but yeah, but the side quests are like multi-step chains, very in-depth stories and lore and everything like that. They're like literally like Witcher 3 level, if not better in a lot of cases. And to me that's hard to do because the Witcher 3 side quests are insane. But yeah, last thing is story and characters. All the characters are incredible. There's a lot more characters than the first game, and it works really, really well. Everybody gets like their time to shine, and they all have purposes, or have a purpose. And you really get to know Aloy. You really get to know Aloy and who she's becoming. In the first game, right, you play as Aloy when she still doesn't know any better, and she kind of is learning who she is. This game, she becomes who she is, and this is who she is. It's really good. Highly recommend this game. If you played the first game, you will absolutely love this game. If you haven't played the first game, but you've been thinking about this game, play the first game. It's on PlayStation as well as Steam. I recommend the PC version. The port is really, really good now. Looks better, higher FPS, and you get to use a mouse and keyboard. And if you really don't want to, there's plenty of Let's Plays on YouTube that you can watch to get the story down, and then this game is just insanely good. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be my game of the year because I've already started Elden Ring. But, you know, what are you going to do? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching another Thoughts video on Horizon Forbidden West. I'll be trying to do more of these this year, guys. Alright, thanks. Peace.